Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. This is Mrs. Balde here, and today I want to talk to you about area. Your I can statement for today is, I can find area. Now, it would be very helpful for today's lesson if you already have the graph paper printed out that you could use, as well as a pencil or a crayon. Let's get started. You might be wondering, what is area? Area is the amount or quantity of space within a shape. You may be wondering, how do I find area? Great question. There are two ways that we can find area that we're going to work on today. The first way we're going to work on finding area is by tiling. If you have tiles at home, great. If not, just watch what I'm going to do. All right, boys and girls, I know that for this array, I have 2 rows and 2 columns. I'm going to go ahead and build that. I have 2 tiles and 2 more tiles. So I have 2 rows and 2 columns. Well, I can find the area of this shape. In fact, all I have to do is count the tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the area of this shape? That's right, it's 4. If I were to draw the outline of this shape, what shape would we have? That's right, we'd have a square. So when I look at the square, I don't automatically know how much area is inside of it. That's why I need to use my tiles to find out. When I tiled it, it looked something like that. And I was able to determine that there were 4 squares on the inside of my big square. So my answer would be 4 square units. That's how I would write my answer. And SQ stands for squared, and then I have units. Now, there's another way that you can find area. The second way you can find area is by multiplying the length times the width. If I come back to my first example, I would have my picture right here. I'm going to draw it down at the bottom. I have 2 rows and 2 columns. So I would find the length times how wide it is, the width, and my equation would be 2 times 2 equals 4. But I can't just leave the 4 all by itself. I have to give it the label of square units. That way I know what I'm finding. Let's try another example. Okay, now let's try this example. It says I have 5 rows and 3 columns. This is what my rectangle looks like. I need to use tiling to find the area or the space within my shape. So I'm going to grab my tiles and get to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I have the start for my 5 rows and I have my first column. Let me get a few more tiles and keep adding. Just going to fill it up There, I filled up my rectangle. Now I can count each of my squares. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So I have 15 square units. Now there is the other way that we can find this. Do you remember? What's the other way that we can find area? That's right. We can use our wonderful equation. Area equals length times width. So in this case, my length, it's only 3 wide. Oh, I just said length and then I wrote wide. I am so sorry, boys and girls. My length is 5 and it is 3 squares wide. So 5 times 3 equals 15. Am I done yet? Nope, you're right. I have to write square units. Marvelous. Let's try one more example. This time I have a piece of graph paper. You have graph paper for today's assignment as well. In fact, this is the graph paper you get to use. I need to find the area of a rectangle that has 2 rows and 6 columns. Well, I can bet already that my problem is going to be something like 2 times 6 because I know the length and the width of my shape. Let's see. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make 1 row and my second row. So I have my 2 rows. Now I need to make my 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just going to outline it to make it a little easier to see. There's my rectangle. Now if I count all the squares inside, how many do we have? That's right, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Our answer is 12 square units. All right, so boys and girls, today for your assignment, you're going to be using your graph paper just like this. You will have equations like the 2 times 6. So all you have to do is write your equation next to the tiling that you draw, just like I drew. And I know mine is not written next to it on the paper. Instead, mine is on a Post-it note. If you have a Post-it note, you want to use it, and mommy or daddy says it's okay, go for it. Otherwise, please write it on the paper. Your teachers and I look forward to seeing your great work. Have a wonderful day.